Hi, Kalpin. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, very clear. So we'll get started.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. And a big warm welcome to all of you to the story of our markets. Uh, very, very important subject in today's times, right, Kalpin? Thank you so much for agreeing to do this with us. I'll just quickly take our attendees through a couple of slides. So, hi, I'm Chitra Iyer. I'm the CEO of MFA Capital. Thank you, everyone, for a lot of our clients have signed in, Kalpin. And I'm sure a lot of their questions, concerns should get answered post this webinar and listening to you. Uh, to just quickly share with people who might not know in detail about us, we are MFA Capital, a niche goal-based investing firm, primarily focused purely on goal-based investing. This was started by our founder, Amar Pandit, in 2005, and I've been really fortunate to work with him over this last 2 decades, and we've been in so many of our clients' lives, and I've been blessed to sit with them and help take decisions about money to fulfill all their needs, their goals that they have for their families. We also have Happiness Factory, our online um, portal, a platform that helps people live their best versions and reach their happy, rich life. This is a state of the art, something that has been, looked up to various advisors, even in the US. And this platform helps in accessing your money, your portfolio, your investments online at any point of time from anywhere in the world. And it's been completely built in house by our own tech team. We also have our own company in the US called the Haprich Capital, which is actively helping in cross border investments and finance for all of our clients. Moving on, we've been in existence for 2 decades plus, 21 years now. We're present in 40 plus countries, and the assets that we are managing now across our group is $1 billion plus. And we have an extremely passionate team of 200 plus professionals who whose whole commitment is to carry forward what Amar dreamt, that is to help people take better financial decisions and to help them in their path towards achieving their goals. So, Kalpen, I'm starting our session here completely,
Sure.
and I'll just try to set a bit of context before we go ahead, right?
Yeah.
Um, the audience attending today includes a lot of investors who are at different stages of their wealth journey, right? Some of them have invested for many years. They've seen many year cycles. They've seen the ups and downs, right from, before 2008. And guys who have invested over a decade plus are still seeing healthy double-digit returns in terms of the long-term investments. Maybe their CAGRs have dipped a little, over the last 12 to 18 months or 2 years in terms of the new monies that they invested over this, point in time. Some clients who entered the markets very recently, people who moved their money from their FDs are of course disappointed by the returns. And they're not even, they feel that they're comparing it directly to the FD and feel that, I'm not even there. Why did I put my money in the markets? And what has it delivered to me? And there's a third group of people who are strongly, sitting on cash, hoping and praying and believing that the market will definitely go down from here and whether we should wait to deploy the money. So I thought I would structure this conversation entirely around this, understanding what you feel in terms of where are we with respect to the market cycle, how investors should behave in such kind of, volatile periods, and third, how portfolio should be positioned for the next decade. Okay, so I'm coming to you with the first question, Kalpin. Shall I start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So everyone, I think I also missed a bit about talking about Kalpin with all of you. Let me finish that first. Kalpen is the managing director and CEO of DSP Asset Managers. With over close to 3 decades, Kalpen now, in terms of investment management, he has held leadership roles across various AMCs. And he is known for his cutting insight in terms of what he writes, how he speaks, and how he is able to simplify about markets and how investors often behave during these cycles and what should they actually focus on, which is why, Kalpin, we have you here today. So thank you again for doing this with
Thank,
us. Yeah.
thank you for having me. So you want to start with questions or
I'm starting with the first
before
question
that?
that,
Before that,
please, can we begin with the larger picture, right?
yeah. So before that, I just had one observation to make. So
Sure.
you highlighted four different client personas.
Right.
Some who have been there across 15, 20 years and have seen cycles. So I'm one of them because I have seen cycles over 27, 28 years.
Mm.
I have some of them who have seen 10 to 15 years of cycles. So I've been a part of that as well because over 27 years, I've gone through the 15 years. And in every
Yeah.
phase, we change as investors. Our beliefs and our behaviors change. So in my
Mm.
first phase, I was a very mediocre investor. In my
Mm.
second phase, I became a less mediocre and an average investor. Then
Mm.
you also mentioned that there are some who would have invested a few years back and moved away from FDs or bonds or safer investments and are feeling disappointed. So I'm also that one because my money was in arbitrage funds and I have shifted some money in the last 2, 3 years, which has given
Anji.
me in some funds stellar returns where there was gold, silver, and global stocks. But in funds which were only equity funds, I have earned equally mediocre returns. So I'm also the third persona. And I'm also the fourth persona because अभी भी मेरे अकाउंट में 40-50 लाख पड़ा है जहां पे
Anji.
मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूं कि मैं कैसे इसको टाइम करूं with this delusion and arrogance that I know
Ah,
क्या होने वाला है. So I'm all four of them. And we all actually, at all points in time, have these dilemmas in our mind. There are
true.
times we are happy with our past returns. There are times we are nervous. There are times we don't know what to do and we freeze. So it's very natural to be, what you mentioned. And that's how the reality is. And the second point I want to just add before anything else is you mentioned that some of us are not happy with our investors, with our investment return in the last 2 years.
Right.
So I had mentioned this to someone from whom I have learned a lot about investing, and he told me one thing that market is not here to make us happy.
Mm.
Market doesn't have to serve us. It is about how we, manage the cycles of market and our own emotions and our own behavior that will
Mm.
determine over time whether we are happy or sad. So that was a very big learning for me that market का responsibility नहीं है मुझे
बिल्कुल.
खुद करना रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी मेरी खुद की है अपने तरफ फॉर हाउ आई डील विथ माई मनी and
Mm.
if I am either myself a versatile or good investor, I will navigate well or I will have a good advisor. So just one comment I'll make is I've rarely seen an introduction about a distributor or an advisor the way you gave, where you spoke about leading a happy life and fulfilling goals. So market is just a mechanism towards that. And more often, whenever I do a lot of these conversations, there is a lot of obsession about predicting markets or understanding markets. Let me start with a disclaimer that this is inherently an uncertain domain.
Mm.
So if at any point in time in the next 30 minutes, if I give you any precise, certain, clear views, stop me there because I would be lying to you. Because in a
Mm.
domain which is uncertain, certainty sounds expertise, but it
Correct.
is a lie. So never will I be certain. So these days many times when someone calls me, they ask me कि आजकल आप बहुत busy रहोगे, market बहुत volatile है. So I tell them that I've been in this industry since 98. 1998 to today is 28 years. 28 years into 365 days is a very crazy number of days. There is no single day I have not been uncertain or markets have not been volatile. Markets fluctuate is the reality. So I just want to lay the context saying that whatever we are witnessing right now is nothing new.
Mm.
Is nothing new. It's just that our ability to accept and embrace,
Anji.
changes and evolves depending on our our own temperament and our own phase of the life. So these are very ordinary times of markets. These are very routine things for markets. 100 साल पहले सिमिलर एक फोरम था न्यूयॉर्क स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में. द टॉप 800 families of America had come together, the wealthiest people.
Mm.
JP Morgan was on stage and he was
Mm.
asked. This was in 1914, exactly 112 years back. And it was a
Mm.
very uncertain era for the economy and the stock market. And he was asked, "What's your view on markets?" And he closed his eyes. He took
Mm.
4 5 minutes to think. And the
Mm.
audience thought that he will give a very long speech like a politician after that.
Ah.
And he uttered only 3 words, which is the biggest truth of investing. Anything else you hear would be a lie. These 3 words are the only truth of investing. He paused, he thought, and he answered. When he was asked, "What's your view on market?" he said, "Markets will fluctuate."
Mm.
If any of us are expecting any other behavior, it is not the problem of markets, it is our problem. So that's the context. So now looking ahead also, I would say the same thing. Markets will fluctuate. Indian markets have a history of around रफली आई वुड से 35 years. वो सेंसेक्स के नंबर 1979 या 69 से लोग दिखाते हैं, बट वो नंबर्स में बहुत सारा जगलरी है, वो फ्रॉड होता है, उसको आप छोड़ दो. रियल
Mm.
मार्केट्स 1990 के बाद शुरू हुए हैं. उसमें पहला फेज वाज लाइक अ बबल ऑफ हर्षद मेहता, बट उसको भी अगर आप हटा दो, सो रफली 30 35 years की मार्केट हिस्ट्री है. In these 35 years, roughly 30% of times, 1/3 of times, markets rise very sharply. 1/3 of times markets go sideways. They just muddle along. We are in that phase right now. And 1/3 of times markets crash. They crash means 30 40 50% correction. And I'm not trying to scare anybody here right now. We haven't seen anything like that right now because वो हमने already 2020 में देख लिया था. सो हर
Mm.
8 साल में एक क्रैश आता है. तो
Mm.
अगर आपको रियली एस्ट्रोलॉजाइज करके प्रिडिक्ट करना है क्रैश कब आएगा, शायद 2028 में आ सकता है. दैट टाइम यू कैन टॉक टू चित्रा एंड आस्क. बट दीज आर द ओनली 3 थिंग्स दैट वी विल encounter with our money: rising, stagnating, or falling markets. Falls are typically the COVID type of crash. Falls are typically the 2008-9 global financial crisis type of a crash, or 99 to 2000 जब ग्लोबल टेक बबल था और वो क्रैश हुआ था. अभी जैसे एआई का बबल बिल्ड हो रहा है, शायद वो किसी दिन क्रैश होगा उस स्पेस में. दोज आर द फॉलोइंग पीरियड्स. बट व्हाट वी आर गोइंग थ्रू राइट नाउ आर very natural 10 to 20% sort of price corrections which are recovering back. We see a 10-15% fall and then we are recovering back. Again, so this is very ordinary. So these are, and typically this is like how a train moves. A train comes on the station, it slows down. We are in that slowdown phase. Not just slows down, it stops because that's the only way we can get in and get
Mm.
out. So we are in that pause phase right now when markets are in pause mode. And when they are in pause mode, few investors will come in aggressively and few will get out. Those who have fulfilled their goals will get out. Those who are panicking or getting disappointed will get out. Those who are starting new goals will get in. A nephew of mine few days back said कि बेटी हुई है मुझे 2 महीने की है, क्या करूं. आई सेड ये 3 फंड में 30 साल की एसआईपी शुरू कर लो. सो ही इज
Ah.
गेटिंग इन. There's someone who is at 75 80 years age and is not able to bear this volatility. He says अभी मुझे पैसा चाहिए. He's in the get out mode. So in the same trains, people are getting in and getting out, and we are in that phase right now. So I think my view is we remain in uncertain zone always. Um, See, basically, the world is growing at around 3% overall. India is growing at around 6%. Normally, India's growth rate, if we do everything right, goes to 7%. If we don't do everything right, we go back to 6%. So इसमें कोई rocket science नहीं है. You don't have to waste your time listening to stories of Amrit Kal, Viksit Bharat and all that. वो आपको और आपके पैसे को दूर करने का तरीका है. आप वो स्टोरी हो या नहीं हो, आपको जो रिटर्न मिलने वाला है वही मिलेगा. ना ज्यादा मिलेगा ना कम मिलेगा. लॉन्ग टर्म रिटर्न of all markets, or India for that matter, for the last 35 years has been between 10 to 14%. If you invest in a bear market, you have earned 14% return. If you invest in a super bull market, initially you will earn slightly moderate return like an FD, like what we are going through right now, because the last 2 years were bull markets. बुल मार्केट का रिटर्न 10% के आसपास आता है, बेयर मार्केट का रिटर्न 14% के आसपास आता है. हम फिलहाल बीच में है. तो यहाँ से अगर आप अपने पैसे का अगले 3 से 5 साल का एस्टिमेट अगर मुझे करना है, इफ आई हैव टू थिंक ऑफ व्हाट कैन बी माय लाइकली रिटर्न्स, आई वुड assume anything between 10 to 14. I don't think it will be closer to 14. I don't think it will be closer to 10, because we've already gone through 2 years of pain. We've gone through 2 years of price consolidation and some pockets price fall. Closer to 11-12% return is a likely outcome if you hold on for a minimum 5-year tenor. Anything in equity less than 5 years is not a problem of the asset class, is a problem of the investor, because is a problem of us, because equity is about long term. Actually, people take 4 alphabets of equity very seriously. Any guesses which four? Equity में 6 alphabet है. People take 4 alphabets very, very seriously, and they are QUIT,
Wait,
which we
wait, I
very
thought
cute.
it's
Yeah, so we
good
know
thing.
that's a good answer.
Yeah,
People, then there are bonds. Bonds are
yeah.
debt. FDs are bonds, right? FDs are like bonds. People take the whole word very seriously. They bond with FDs for very long periods of time.
Yeah,
वहाँ पे कोई quit नहीं करता because steady return है.
right.
Bonds give steady returns but low returns.
Mm,
Equities give unsteady returns, but over a period, high returns, provided we stay invested for a long period of time. In and when they and that's why equity is not a straight line. There are periods of poor returns, average returns, and above average returns. But only if we stay invested through thick and thin, through ups and downs, we are entitled to those higher returns. And so these are two important dimensions. From where we are right now, I think we are in the middle. Our markets are not very attractive. Our markets are not very unattractive. We are in the middle, and that is how we most of the times are. Extreme points come only less number of times. So COVID crash was an extreme point. 2 years back, when there was this whole narrative of India story, Viksit Bharat was also an extreme point. Right now, we are in the middle. So I think we should not be too worried where we are right now. Of course, it worries us when our returns are low, but honestly, I don't have an answer to that. We have to live through this. The only reason why equity markets earn that 5% more over bonds or 7% more over bonds, that extra risk premium, is given to us only and only if we take the risk of uncertainty,
perfect.
risk of volatility. If we bear that risk, we will earn that 13, 14. So there is no investor in India who, if he has invested for minimum 8 to 10 years, has never earned less than 10% return or 12% return. His all minimum rolling return on a 7-10 year basis has been 11% and above. So, but then we need to give that much of time. And I think if we are able to do that, returns will come to us. I will be unfair or lying if I give you false delusion and hope that all is well. All is never well in markets. So India is growing, but India is growing at 6%. It's not growing at 7%. Because the levers for 7%, and growth also is cyclical, by the way. There are phases when growth is high, then again the cycle turns, phases when growth slows down. So it's very important to acknowledge the role of cycles. Our life has cycles, right? In our careers we have cycles, in our health we have cycles, we have phases of healthy periods, we have phases of being unwell. In nature there is cycle. There's nothing which is linear. The only thing which is linear is fixed deposit, for which then we should be okay with a 6-7% return, which is closer to what inflation is. So to earn
Mm,
above average returns over inflation, the only way is to embrace this uncertainty and volatility. And right now we are living through one phase. And the last point I want to say is that there's a very powerful quote which says that the best returns are made in a bear market. The only thing is we know about it later on, and by the time we are out of the market.
perfect.
So yeah, any specific next lines, next question? Happy to
Yeah. I
take.
loved the train analogy and उसी बात से हम आगे चल पड़ते हैं
Sure.
कि Kalpin, right now we're seeing geopolitical uncertainty, right? So much of war scenarios, so much of stuff we hear every day, whether it's the Instagram or it is so many influencers talking about doom and gloom. There are concerns around tariffs, inflation, frequent lots of market reactions to global headlines.
Yeah.
Question is, how should investors make sense of this environment without getting overwhelmed by the daily dose of daily noise and news that's happening? What would you
It's
advise?
it's not easy to switch off from this noise, because see, some of this noise is self-inflicted. We have got into a world of using our mobiles more. We interact with mobiles more than human beings these days, right? Even I know I don't spend as much time with family at home as much on the mobile. And when we are on the mobile, either we are using WhatsApp or LinkedIn or Instagram or X. So पूरे दुनिया का जो थॉट्स है वो अपने आप लोग फ्री में बांट रहे हैं. Number one. Number two, when it comes to influencers, one thing you guys should be very serious about that. The same influencer who 2 years back was very excited about equity investing today is not excited. 100 रुपए पे उसको equity अच्छा लगता है, 80 रुपए पे उसको अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है. तो ये तो एंटी कॉमन सेंस है. And most of the times they themselves may not be making money through investing. They will be making money through sponsorships and other dimensions. So you have to choose your heroes and your role models, who you want to follow and whose data points you want to look at. Social media should be used for entertainment, not for investing. There are few people who will genuinely, guide you right on social media, who write honestly, who write objectively. So the people who I respect or I follow are the ones who 2-3 years back were conservative, were cautious, were objective, were saying that okay, this party cannot be extended or extrapolated. 20% return every year cannot be extrapolated forever. You have to somewhere slow down. Those are the people who should be your role models to follow, not the ones who cheer leaded you or chest thump to say all is well. Because like I said, markets, the role is to fluctuate. And even today, so I think see a lot of people form their opinion looking at the price and the current returns. तो जब रिटर्न्स कम हो जाता है तो अपने आप हमारे सबका मूड सॉफ्ट हो जाता है. जब मूड सॉफ्ट होता है तो हमारा ओपिनियन ऑफ द फ्यूचर ऑल्सो बिकम सॉफ्ट. It's called extrapolation of the last 1 or 2 years into the future. Or it's called recency bias. Whatever is happening recently, we believe the same will happen in the future. And sometimes it does continue. Sometimes these trends can continue for a year or two more before they turn. Sometimes the trend may have turned already and we'll get to know 1 year later. These are unknowable things. I'm sorry, I may not be giving you very clear answers, but I'm giving you the truth that most things are unknowable. What is knowable is on a rolling 7-8 year basis, generally equity markets or equity as an asset class or equity funds earn 4% more than inflation, 4 to 6% more than inflation, or 4 to 6% more than bonds or FDs, but on a rolling 7 year basis. Intermittently, they may even earn less than FD. But on a rolling 7 year basis, they've always done better. On a rolling 8 year basis, still better. 9 years, still better. So the longer the tenor shifts, we do better. Number two, we go to work, right? I go to, forget me, I'm from the industry, so I have a bias. But a lot of you may be bankers, or maybe coders, or maybe doctors, or maybe engineers, or maybe artists, or maybe, in movies. You don't stop your work just because the influencer is saying market kharab lag raha hai. We still go with our focus and do what we have to do. Um, so, let's say any equity fund or your portfolios, wherever your money is invested, could be invested in 20, 30, 40 companies, could be 5 banks, 3 software companies, 4 pharma companies, 3 automobile companies, 2 chemical companies. None of the CEOs of this company or the workforces of this company, they are stopping their work every day, listening to what influencers are saying, what messages are getting exchanged on WhatsApp about their own company. लाइक अगर किसी ने 2 दिन पहले बोला कि 7 साल का HDFC बैंक का स्टॉक का रिटर्न सिर्फ 3% है CAGR, which is less than the savings account. The bank doesn't stop working saying, okay, now what do we do? Or tech stocks are down 40% in the last 1 year because of the AI fear. The tech companies don't stop working, and that's exactly what we as investors don't need to stop. We typically tend to give up when prices become attractive, and we get very excited when prices rise very sharply. We need to do the opposite. Investing may we have to do the opposite of getting excited when markets fall. We need to do that, and when markets rise, we need to get less excited. So what I want to highlight, and this is exactly what I am doing, this is the way I have trained myself, and it has worked for me. When markets fall, for me, I am a collector of units because I earn my salary. My age is 52. I've been working since 24. 98 से आज तक 26 और 2 28 साल से मैं काम कर रहा हूँ. 28 साल से मुझे हर महीना पगार मिल रहा है. थोड़ा बहुत खर्चा होता है, बाकी का सेविंग्स है. मेरा responsibility or religion है to myself and my family that I acquire units every month. If I need money next 1, 2, 3 years, I will not touch equity. If my goals are 5, 7, 10 years ahead, I will buy hybrid funds or multi-asset or equity funds. अब उसके बीच में market ऊपर जाएगा नीचे जाएगा, I have no control. My duty is to acquire units. And falling markets allow me to fulfill my duty more favorably because I buy more units. And when there are rising markets, I'm sad because my unit collection is slow. When markets are rising, NAVs are rising, I get less units. So the way I have trained my mind, and 98 to 2008, I used to be very happy when markets were rising. मुझे बहुत खुशी होती थी कि मेरा पैसा जो भी लगा है, markets are rising, my returns are rising. But again, one of my gurus, he is the CIO of Prudential ICICI today. He told me that you are an idiot. Your job is to तुम्हारा सैलरी जितना है 10 साल में तुमने कितना कमाया है, अभी तो तुम्हारा पोर्टफोलियो बिल्ड भी नहीं हुआ. यू हैव टू फर्स्ट अक्वायर योर पोर्टफोलियो. यू हैव टू बाय मोर यूनिट्स. सो बी only way you can buy more units is when NAVs fall. So celebrate bear markets, not bull markets. This was my biggest tubelight moment in 2008. You need to celebrate corrections. And दुनिया का जो सबसे अमीर इन्वेस्टर है वॉरेन बफेट, उनके जो टीचर थे बेन ग्राहम, उन्होंने एक बहुत पावरफुल स्टेटमेंट बोला है दैट वी शुड इन्वेस्ट इन स्टॉक्स द वे women buy groceries, not perfumes. It means when we go to buy groceries, we wait for lower, we negotiate or bargain for lower prices. So we should be celebrating lower prices, not higher prices. Typically, when we go to buy perfumes, we don't mind paying a premium. We don't even haggle for, we don't go and negotiate, right? ये 3,000 का परफ्यूम है, मुझे इसी में आके आई कांट पे 3,000, इसको 2,500 में दे दो. एंड बुल मार्केट इन्वेस्टिंग इज अबाउट सेइंग 3,000 का परफ्यूम मैं 3.5 देने को तैयार हूँ. एंड बाइंग ग्रोसरीज लाइक सेइंग कि वो 100 रुपए का, 20 रुपए का धनिया 15 में खरीदना है मुझे. So good investing is about trying to look for bargains. We are in a phase where some bargains are coming. I will lie to you if I say the whole market is a bargain. There are many pockets still of risk in the market, but there are enough pockets where money can be deployed. And I think we are in a phase of better unit accumulation. We are in a bear market of NAV, but we are in a bull market of units. And that bull market has begun over the last 1.5 years.
Fantastic. That was really amazing. So, going to another segment where you did talk about valuations. Okay. So, are we at risk in terms of macro weakness or expensive valuations? India's biggest risk.
See, I think valuations are not cheap. See, cheap क्या होता है? I started my career at 12 PE. उसको cheap बोलते हैं. And all through the last decade, markets have been at 25 PE. And I have not been able to fully invest in my portfolio. I'm sharing my realities. This is a very honest conversation because I don't want to ever mislead investors. All through the last decade, markets have been at 25 PE except for that COVID crash. So तब भी 12 पे नहीं गया. COVID जैसे once in a century event, maybe markets didn't go to 12. So maybe 12 is very rare. We may get it once in our lifetime or maybe twice in our lifetime. And the truth is at that time, you have no courage to invest. Or you're fully invested somewhere, you have no money to invest. Either of the two.
ऐसा ही नहीं है, बिल्कुल correct.
Or you are losing your job and hence you still don't have money to invest. And I'll give you one real life anecdote also about that 12p. So let me give that. 2008 में market 12p पे आया था. And someone told me today that आप जितना भी ये सब ज्ञान देते हो, क्या आपने कभी follow किया है क्या? So I said yes, I did. So I'll give you this example. 2007 में सेंसेक्स 21,000 पे था. जो सेंसेक्स आज 85 पे है या 80 पे है, वो 21,000 पे था. वो गिर के 10,000 हो गया. Almost 12-13 p. I invested. And I did a great job because I bought at 50% fall. I preached to the world, सस्ता है, celebrate correction. I invested. उसके एक महीने में 10,000 का 8,000 हो गया. एक महीने में कुछ 20% गिरता है. ऑलरेडी पहले 40 गिरा है, उसके बाद और 20 गिरा, तो फिर हालत टाइट हो गए. और वो उस समय पे पता नहीं था कि अब नौकरी भी बचेगी कि नहीं, बिकॉज देयर वाज ब्लड बाथ. ऑल हेडलाइंस, लाइफ में कभी ऐसे खराब हेडलाइन नहीं देखे थे. So I did a great decision of investing at 10,000. At 8,000, I exited. So whatever I may say, what we feel in our gut is very irrational at times.
Investor behavior.
Yeah, no, and it's not wrong because the way things were, that 8 could have gone to 6 also before it goes back to 30, 40, 50, 60.
Right.
So now in hindsight, I can say that 8 has become 80 10 times. Had I invested at 8, I would have made 10 times over
बिल्कुल
the last 15, 17 years. But वो courage to ignore. And there are situations, there are life situations also. My life situation was not that bad that I needed money. It was just out of fear. Now that was a learning I've written now. That even when you invest in a falling market, doesn't mean that's the end of the fall. So let's say today I've invested some small money. 3 बजे के पहले I made some small investment because markets were down 1%. तो I like जिस दिन नीचे होता है थोड़ा डाल देता हूँ. It doesn't mean मैंने डाल दिया तो ये market का bottom हो गया. Market is not waiting. चलो आपने डाल दिया, now ये bottom है, कल से return बनेगा. It can still fall 20. So this acceptance is very important, that since the day you invest, it can still fall 20. This is my learning. Whenever you invest, it can still fall 20. But I am here for the next 5-10 years. I have reasonable confidence. I'm using the word reasonable confidence, not certainty. I have reasonable confidence that 10 years from now, 5 years from now, it will be meaningfully higher than where I am today. And do I need money in the next 1, 2, 3, 4 years? Mostly no. Whatever I need, I will take it from my arbitrage fund. I have done my financial planning accordingly. जो भी मेरी 1, 2, 3, 4 साल की liquidity है, arbitrage fund takes care of it, or my new salary takes care of it. But what I don't need for 5-10 years, I am not worried. कल क्या होगा, परसों क्या होगा? So I think the worry for us is valuations are not very high, but they are not very cheap. We are in the middle. We are somewhere in the middle, and the middle is the most toughest, because जब middle में होते हैं, यहाँ से नीचे भी जा सकता है, यहाँ से ऊपर भी जा सकता है. There is a reasonable chance that tomorrow, if the agreement between US and Iran happens and the Strait of Hormuz is opened, there can be a 20% move or a 15% jump in the market. There is a reasonable chance. But equally possible is that the agreement gets delayed for 3 more months. So we all know, when we talk to companies, they are all saying that this quarter is a lost quarter. This quarter के results खराब आएंगे. But the stock market is not falling significantly right now, because markets क्या देखते, they discount the long term future, not every quarter. Market says that एक दो quarter की बात है, so it doesn't matter. Over time, all this will get sorted, and hence let's not react. But if this extends for 1 or 2 quarters more, then the market will start saying that companies can lose not just 1 quarter of profits, but 4 quarter of profits can be lost. Then they will have to adjust their prices. Do we have any idea how to think about the war situation? Very tough, because there are a lot of games which are getting played. There is one conspiracy theory I heard today morning that Elon Musk is coming with an IPO of SpaceX. वो 12 जून को होने वाला है. तो वहां पे एक डील हो गया है कि 12 जून तक मार्केट को पकड़ के रखो, मार्केट गिरना नहीं चाहिए, अदरवाइज आईपीओ कैन गेट अफेक्टेड. So he and Trump and whoever others may say that, okay, let's not do anything till there. उसके बाद जो करना है करेंगे. Now that is a positive news for the short term, but who knows? This is a conspiracy theory. सच है झूठ है
बिल्कुल
पता नहीं है.
सच
So
में
these things किसी ने बोला सच है, so चलो someone knows what is happening, then you should make him talk on this. But I don't know. These are unknowable things, because like lot of people who ask me आपका क्या व्यू है वॉर पे, मैं उनको बोलता आप मुझे पूछ क्यों रहे हो? वॉर होने के पहले मेरा कोई व्यू नहीं था कि वॉर होने वाला है. तो वॉर होने के बाद हाउ वुड आई नो क्या होने वाला है? इफ आई डिडंट नो बिफोर, हाउ विल आई नो टुडे? ऑल आई नो is we are at 17-18 P. We are a country which will grow at 6%, which means our profits will grow at around 12%. 16-17 P पे जो भी प्रॉफिट ग्रोथ है उतना रिटर्न बनता है. प्रॉफिट ग्रोथ से ज्यादा रिटर्न अगर बनाना है, मार्केट शुड बी चीपर, बट it doesn't mean it will get cheaper. So personally today my portfolio is a 60-40 portfolio. 60% is in growth assets, which is Indian stocks and global stocks. In the balance 40, it is defensive. It is a combination of bonds and gold. Because if let's say my growth assets don't give me returns, this 40% will give me whatever 7, 8, 9% returns that bonds should give and gold should give. अलग बात है कि गोल्ड ने 200% दे दिया, वो जोकर की जैसे रिटर्न बन गया पिछले 2 साल में. यू कांट एक्सट्रापोलेट दैट इन द फ्यूचर. सो एक्चुअली इन द लास्ट 2 years, ironically, what I had kept for protection has earned 100% return, which is like sheer luck. Gold went up 200%, but it can't repeat, because long term return of gold is 9 or 10% or 11%. But it's a great asset class from a risk cutting point of view. जब स्टॉक्स गिरते हैं, गोल्ड नॉर्मली प्रोटेक्ट करता है, बट जिस दिन स्टॉक की रैली शुरू होगी, गोल्ड नीचे आएगा. ऑलरेडी 20% डाउन है. सो कमिंग बैक, ऑल आई एम सेइंग इज दैट यू हैव टू डिजाइन फॉर accepting that markets will be volatile. So whether you should run a 60-40 portfolio or a 40-60 portfolio or a 100-0 portfolio is purely a function of your risk appetite, time horizon, and your ability to digest volatility. In my mind, my framework is when markets are expensive, I will be closer to 40% in stocks. When markets are cheap, I would go to 80% in stocks. Today, I'm in the middle between 40 and 80. I will never be 100% in equity, is my view. मेरा बेटा है, अभी उसकी SIP चल रही है, छोटा सा उसका पोर्टफोलियो है, which is like peanuts because he doesn't earn money. I have given him money. His portfolio is 100% equity. My father, who is retired and who has no new income, so even if markets were to fall, he can't take advantage of that because he has no new income. So his portfolio is more 40 in equity and 60 in bonds. So that whenever rebalancing has to be done, it can be done through hybrid funds. So each portfolio has to be unique. It cannot be a portfolio what DSV says or MFA says. It has to be unique to each individual. And there's no right or wrong answer. Personal finance is personal more, finance less. So, in a nutshell, we are not very cheap. We are not very expensive. We are somewhere in the middle. We will chug along. ज़्यादा टेंशन भी नहीं है बट ज़्यादा एक्साइटमेंट का भी कोई रीजन नहीं है.
Exactly what we say in terms of, customization to the T based on what each family's needs are and how much money they have already allocated towards their goals, and that which is in excess, depending on the risk appetite, can be invested accordingly. Moving on, Kalpen, are domestic flows now strong enough to absorb the FII selling meaningfully? And when FIIs eventually come back, what kind of impact do you see on the Indian markets?
So, Chitra, this is a less relevant variable, to be honest, and individual investors should genuinely not track these flows or worry about them because, honestly, flows don't create returns. Returns create flows. Flows don't drop in flows does not create drop in returns or vice versa. It's the other way around. Returns determine flows kya hota hai. So obviously FIs have sold 25-30 billion dollars over the last year or so, and domestic investors are doing 30,000 into 12, roughly 3.5-4 lakh crore. But उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता है because for this entire 4 lakh crores that we are putting, forget FIs, Indian promoters themselves are selling their stocks. वो बोलते हैं कि देखो इतना सामने से मुझे मल्टीपल और वैल्यूएशन मिल रहा है. प्रोमोटर नोज मेरे कंपनी का वैल्यूएशन 25 टाइम होना चाहिए. अब मार्केट उसको अगर 40 टाइम दे रहा है तो वो भी स्मार्ट है. बोलता है थोड़ा आईपीओ लेके आ जाओ, थोड़ा क्यूआईपी कर लो, थोड़ा राइट्स ले दो, थोड़ा ऑफर फॉर सेल कर दो. और ग्लोबल एमएनसीज हु हैव अ सब्सिडरी इन इंडिया, Hyundai did an IPO, right? Hyundai Motors. Their stock was valued at single digit PE in Korea. And rightly so, some of them, because their growth rates are also very slow, whereas our growth rates are slightly better. So we should get a higher multiple, but not to the extent of 4-5 times higher multiple than their global multiple. So when they realize कि मुझे इंडिया में पैसा रेज करूंगा मेरे स्टॉक को बेच के तो मुझे ज्यादा मल्टीपल मिलेगा, they did an IPO. And when they did an IPO, I think 20,000 crore का IPO था. So almost 20 दिन का SIP flows ने खा लिया, absorb कर लिया. Prudential, which is an asset management company of India, उसकी जो parent company है UK में, उन्होंने IPO किया. They sold their stake and they took money out. Whirlpool, American company, they sold their subsidiary. LG ने Hyundai को देख के फिर LG ने बोला कि हम क्यों पीछे रह जाए, इंडिया का रिटेल इन्वेस्टर मेरा माल लेने को तैयार है तो चलो मैं थोड़ा दे देता हूँ. So many IPOs have come. So many private equity guys are, saying कि चलो हमने जो कंपनी 5 साल पहले इन्वेस्ट किया था, थोड़ा सीजन हुआ है, IPO करके पैसा बना लेते हैं. तो flows cancel out over a period of time. And I'll give you another data point. 93 से 2003 was a period when FIs had just started investing in India. So in that 10 years, we continuously had flows of FII. It was a 10-year period of zero returns. Flows were rising, but we earned zero returns. So it is not a linear equation. There are many more dimensions and nuances. Over time, what I have started realizing, मुझे 2 ही dimension track करना है, that अगले 3 से 5 साल में या 10 साल में क्या इस इकोनॉमी की जो कंपनीज है ये अपने प्रॉफिट्स को 10, 12, 15% से ग्रो कर पाएगी. That should be my first tick mark. And am I buying it? If the valuations are cheap, I will increase exposure. If they are not cheap, I will reduce exposure. So valuations have a more important role to play in future returns than flows. Lot of times these days media will call up asking what's your view, इस महीने का SIP flow इतना है, उस महीने का उतना है. I don't even track. Media has made too much of noise around some of these variables, which are only noise, which have no bearing on your outcome. When I retire 20 years from now, आज क्या flow था, आज SIP कितना था, आज FI का selling था या buying था, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. फर्क किससे पड़ेगा? Did I invest at fair value? or less than fair value? And did I stay invested for that entire journey? Staying invested is the most important variable than anything else that matters. There are some questions which are coming, Chitra, so you decide when you want to take them.
Yeah, I'll take them.
So my view is that I'll
yeah,
complete the second part of the question that
yeah.
whenever FIs come back, good for us. If they come back, our currency will stabilize. Some of our pressure points will neutralize and markets will get some support, but it's not a very important variable. At some point, they will come. See, why are FIs going out? They found a lot of value in global markets. China was at single digit P 2 years back. और इंडिया 25-30 पे था. इंडिया के मिड कैप 50-50 पे थे. They did what was right to do. But we get carried away as investors, as human beings. 2 years back, there was so much of arrogance in India or in our markets where people used to say, FI जाएगा कहाँ? चाइना तो prison है, US तो hospital है, यूरोप तो म्यूजियम है, यहाँ ही आना पड़ेगा. अब सब क्या पूछ रहे हैं? आज देखो, आप हर सवाल क्या होता है? FI वापस कब आएंगे? So we have to make our investing as individuals. We should say, I don't care about FIIs or SIP. Let me invest in that proportion, in that manner, where independent of this knowledge of flows, I can stay put, I can stick to my investments. Now that means I should take risk worth 30% of equity, worth 50 of equity, 80 of equity is function of my appetite of risk. Flows will always be uncertain. Over time, we will get flows. There's no doubt. Let me also clarify that पूरे दुनिया में बेस्ट टाइम में वर्ल्ड का ग्रोथ 4% होता है. इंडिया का वर्स्ट टाइम ग्रोथ 6% है. So flow have to eventually come to India. It's a matter of time, but they will also go out at times. And I many times tell our investors, आप फ्लो की चिंता क्यों करते हो? आप 3-3 साल का आपका एवरेज होल्डिंग पीरियड है. इंडिया का म्यूचुअल फंड का होल्डिंग पीरियड 3 साल है.
Yeah.
Indian investors holding period is 3 years. FIs have been investing since 93. अगर हम 3 साल के लिए अपने देश में पैसा लगा रहे हैं, why should we worry about FI flows? They will come, they will go, but we need to focus. Are we long-term investors? We have not been long-term investors. We have been very, very short-term investors because we take the word quit very seriously in equity. So irony, आप देखिए, 90% of investors tend to invest for 3, 4, 5 years, and we worry, why is the FI going out? Why should we worry?
In fact, I'm linking this, Kalpen to SIPs, जो आपने बोले कि, there's a lot of discussion and we are, people are so scared. A lot of them stop their SIPs in these times, The real value of SIPs, people are only
Starts now.
seeing.
It starts now.
Huh? Exactly. So, this discipline and behavior जो इन्वेस्टर को करना चाहिए, वो डर जाते हैं. बड़े बड़े सिर्फ स्टॉप कर देते हैं. One aspect is okay, a lot of people are losing jobs. Okay, they are genuinely hit, the SIPs are stopping. There are a lot of people who are out of jobs. But those who can afford to put in their SIPs. In fact, there was a question here by Preeta, I think.
Yeah.
She was saying that, what is the minimum percentage? What minimum percentage of our pay must go into investments monthly? Right? So over to you on that.
So, okay, see, I'll tell you again what I do. And I may be very biased because I'm a believer of this category. किसी ने एक सवाल पूछा कि म्यूचुअल फंड सही नहीं है. So my view very humbly is that, as you wish, as you feel. मैं 98 से इन्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ. मैंने मेरा घर म्यूचुअल फंड में इन्वेस्ट करके पैसा बना के बनाया है. इधर ही विले पार्ला में, आपके ऑफिस से 2 बिल्डिंग छोड़ के. I have been an investor for 25 years, hence I'm happy. And there are phases in between where I've been unhappy, but that's fine. Like I said, we are not happy in every part of our life, right? No one guarantees us happiness in relationships, in our work. हर 3 साल में promotion हर आदमी को नहीं मिलता है. हर 3 साल में 20% का hike भी नहीं मिलता है. कभी 4, 5, 6% का hike होता है. Why should markets give 20% every year? So the starting point is to operate with the acknowledgement that returns will fluctuate every year. Number one. Number two, there are 2 types of investors in the market. One who get excited in bull markets, who make money when markets are rising. One who get excited in bear markets, who invest when markets are falling. In the long run, bear market investing succeeds. In the short term, bull market investing succeeds. 90% investors are in the bull market camp. 10% investors invest in a bear market. Or yet, because as human beings, we don't have the temperament, and I'm not saying it's wrong. It's the reality that no one feels happy to see an account statement जब return 2% है, वो courage नहीं होता है या अच्छा feel नहीं होता है. See, we want to feel good about our investing. So when our account statement is showing 2, 3, 4% return, we are not feeling good at that moment. Till 2008-9, the first 10 years of my career, I have invested in the same way. When markets were rising, I would put more money. When they were falling, I would take money out. And then when I read these two lines that, invest when, invest the way you buy groceries, not the way you buy perfumes. When markets fall, the risk is falling. And when markets rise, the risk is actually rising. Was again a lesson I learned when Howard Marks wrote this in his book, The Most Important Thing. And third, when this investment head of my competing company today, he taught me that falling markets means more units. So very less people are in the second camp, but they are the ones who generally make superior returns over a full cycle. And for them to make superior returns, see, market is a zero-sum game. If someone is making superior returns, someone has to make inferior returns. So the short-term investor generally um, creates opportunity for the long-term investors. And now let me give you another example. That let's say the NAV of a fund was 10 rupees 2 years back. Today it has fallen down to 8 rupees. If you are investing, let's say 100 rupees every month, 2 साल पहले आपको 10 यूनिट मिलते हैं. 100 divided by 10. So remember this number, 100 divided by 10 is 10 units. Today the value is 8 rupees. So 100 divided by 8 will be 12.5 units. So while NAV is down 20%, you are buying 25% more units. That is the magic of maths. That 20% fall is giving you actually 25% more units. So the hack in our mind has to be, are the number of units in my portfolio going up every month or not? So there are phases when the number of units go up, and there are phases where the NAV goes up. You need both to be successful in investing. And over a 10-year journey, there are for 50% of times the number of units are going up. And in the balance 50% of time, the NAV is going up. पिछले 3-4 साल में क्या हुआ है? For most of us, NAV has gone up first. कम यूनिट पे NAV ऊपर गया. अब समय है यूनिट बढ़ाने का. Now each investor has to decide whether he wants to add in units or not. Of course, if you need money today, then all this doesn't matter. You need money, take it out. But if you really are a long-term investor, your real game is today. Marathon mein, when you're running, the moment when you feel like giving up is the moment when you need your willpower to stay put. And this is the real time to stay put. The most successful investors rejoice this moment. But one of the questions that someone asked very rightly, इस market में पैसा लगाने के लिए someone should have told me 2-3 years back that this is the market to slow down. And that's a very valid point that, you sometimes at bubbles, you have to monetize, you have to encash, or you have to go slow. When markets are in a bubble or some themes are in a bubble, you need to slow down. You need to start pressing the brakes there so that today you can accelerate. So I think this is a game of constantly brakes and accelerators, a good asset allocation. And I know the way Happiness Factory, guides investors around their time horizon, around their goals, around, the choice of funds, the choice of asset allocation, whether large caps or mid caps, depending on where is the risk in the market, so on and so forth. All you need is to just wait it out. There are these 2-3 years always which are painful. If you cross the painful period of 2-3 years, you would have acquired lots more units. अगर पेन झेल रहे तो एटलीस्ट वो पेन से बाहर निकलने के टाइम पे लेट्स हैव अ ह्यूज बैग ऑफ मोर यूनिट्स सो दैट व्हेन द साइकिल टर्न्स the NAV jump happens on a higher base of units. And the only way that can be done is not just maintaining SIPs. If you have the wherewithal of topping up your SIP, if you have cash flows, use this opportunity to increase your number of units. Don't let it go waste.
Yeah, absolutely right. I'm coming to the last two questions, Kalpin, before we start off with everyone. So, your view on any alternative assets, all of these products that keeps getting pitched to our regular investors, be it AIFs, be it PMSs, be it private equity, and all of this surfaces even more in these kind of markets, right? Even including gold, silver, current environment may, and even otherwise. How would you explain this to an investor, especially the HNIs, who want to always look at shopping for other products?
So I think, see, these sexy products are great for wealth. It really enables wealth creation, not of yours, but of wealth managers and asset managers like us. Because these सब products में fees ज़्यादा होती है, फिर taxation ज़्यादा होता है. The simplest product is the mutual fund product. and this is my bias, okay? So there are many friends in the industry who may say we have made more money investing in a private equity fund or XYZ fund. मेरा personal experience ये है कि starting point simple flexi cap funds, that should be the first product, or a simple index fund along with the flexi cap fund should be the first fund for all of us to build our core portfolio. It is highest amount of tax efficiency, daily liquidity, 100% transparency, reasonable fees. The mutual fund industry is such a beautiful industry, and SEBI has done a fabulous job in favor of the investor by saying that if your size of the fund goes up, fees should come down. We charge lower and lower fees every time the size of our fund goes up. It's called telescopic pricing. So the economy of scale gets passed on to the investor. There are no 2/20 structures कि पहले 2% फी हम लेंगे, फिर जो भी प्रॉफिट बनेगा उसका 20% हम लेंगे. And that too, lock-ins होते हैं. सब में 7, 8, 10 साल का lock-in होता है. The only good thing about all these complex products is कि lock-in होता है. So by default, we stay invested for long. Mutual fund में तो lock-in भी नहीं है. Actually, lock-in नहीं है sometimes becomes a problem that people get out too fast. So, if Buffett has said somewhere that if his Berkshire Hathaway has over 65 years earned 19% return, he says that if I had run my fund with a 220 structure, my my $1 trillion market cap, what is there right now, would have been 200 billion. It would have been lesser by 80% because that 2% and 20% going away every year. And not just that 2% is going away every year, or that, but उसका compounding भी चला गया अगले 10, 20, 30 साल के लिए. So I think if you want your wealth to grow, choose simple products. If you want our wealth to grow, choose complex products.
Beautifully said. Last question, Kalpin. What is your take on global diversification in the current environment?
See, I think global diversification is a very sensible way of investing in all environments. But today people do global diversification for wrong reasons. कि last 2 साल का return बहुत अच्छा है तो कर लेते हैं. There will be enough years when global stocks will underperform like how India is underperforming. You will go through that. Basically, when you blend Indian and global stocks, what happens is you're getting slightly different business models who have a different business cycle or a different profit cycle. So if today AI stocks are making, semiconductor stocks are making huge tons of profit, it is coming at the cost of, let's say, tech stocks in India. तो आपके पोर्टफोलियो में अगर दोनों है तो एक डिप्रेस हो रहा है तो दूसरा उसको उठा रहा है. So a blend like this ensures that your portfolio volatility comes down. Return शायद same रहेगा. I'll give you an example. I think over 20 years or 20, 15 years or 25 years, broadly, India and MSCI World, दोनों का return similar है. India या US, दोनों का long-term return is, let's say, 13% and 13%. So the average of 13 and 13 should be 13. But the volatility of the last 13 is lower than the volatility of the first and the second 13. So individual markets have higher volatility. Collective markets have lower volatility. So the path becomes smoother. Returns may still remain the same. Like I have around 20-25% of my personal portfolio in global stocks since 2016 is when I started doing global investing. One, because of this mathematical reason, the path of profits of India or Indian companies is slightly different than the path of profits of some of the global companies because they operate differently, and every economy has its own cycles. Number two, there are many businesses which are not there in India, which are dominant businesses, which have high profitability, which have significant return opportunity. And there are phases when some market is a bubble and some market is in a bear market. So, for example, today, so we have this fund on Gift City under the LRS. It's a 100% global portfolio. So we ask this question: where is a bear market in the world? There are a lot of global consumer companies which are down 40-50% in the last 5 years. If any of you are in running, if you use a Hoka brand of shoes, it's made by a company called Deckers, American company. It's down 55% in the last 2 years, two years or so. The Amazon Meta equivalent of China is Tencent. Tencent is down 35% in the last 1 year. Its growth rates are 2 times the growth rates of our tech companies, but valuations are similar. So when you expand your horizon, you get diversity of business models and you get diversity of valuation. So if some pockets of India are cheap, you can say, okay, I won't buy this. But some pockets of companies in the world are, some pockets in India are expensive, but some pockets in the world are cheap. You can mix and match. And that's the beauty of global diversification. But be mindful that what has run up very sharply, a lot of people are chasing the AI theme, the semiconductor theme. Um, Semiconductor stocks for 10 years had earned zero return between 2000 to 2010 for those who bought in a similar bubble in the year 99 2000. So today, if you are going into the same bubble territory again, of course, there's huge growth happening there because there's a huge supply shortage of memory chips, and some of these companies are booked for the next 18 months of sales. So their profits can still rise for a year or two, but a lot of that is in the price today. So, in 2000, global tech stocks had risen very sharply. Indian tech companies had risen very sharply. Those are 2010 tak, a company like Infosys would have grown 30, 40, 50% of its profits. So profits grew, but the share gave zero returns because in the year 99 2000, the stock had re-rated to 100 times P multiple. So it had already run up ahead of time. So valuations become very important right now. In some parts of the world, valuations are expensive. You have to be very mindful. So the way to invest, according to me, is not about global investing or India investing or China investing. I don't think that way. I always say good company investing at good valuation should be the framework. So वो good company और good valuation चाइना से 4 कंपनी मिलती है, पेरिस से 2 कंपनी मिलती है, इटली का डिलोंगी आ जाएगा, कनाडा का ब्रुकफील्ड मिलेगा और कॉन्स्टलेशन सॉफ्टवेयर मिलेगा, यूएस से अमेजोन और मेटा मिल जाएगा, जापान से निंटेंडो मिल जाएगा, ताइवान से टीएसएमसी आ जाएगा, इंडिया से एचडीएफसी बैंक आ जाएगा. सो इफ यू सो one important message I want to leave is you should not ever do label based investing but principle based investing, which is good companies and good valuations. This is the best possible way of earning superior long term returns.
Fabulous. One message to investors who want to compound wealth over the next decade, what would it be?
See, compound का formula है amount is equal to principal 1 plus return raised to the power of time.
In
So in this formula, mathematically, the most power lies with time because उसके बाजू में exponent का sign है.
yeah.
अगर आपको कंपाउंड करना है तो कंपाउंड का फॉर्मूला आप याद रख लीजिए जो स्कूल में हम सबने सीखा है. तो फॉर्मूला का सबसे बड़ा वेटेज टाइम को दिया है.
Mm,
उस फॉर्मूला में रिटर्न को कम वेटेज दिया है. रिटर्न के आगे प्लस साइन है.
mm,
तो टाइम बहुत जरूरी है. द लॉन्गर यू स्टे द लॉन्गर वेल्थ विल कंपाउंड. द लेसर यू
mm.
स्टे यू विल नॉट कंपाउंड. नाउ द सेकेंड वेरिएबल इज पी. पी के बाजू में मल्टीप्लीकेशन का वेरिएबल है.
Yes.
Now, P is how much can you invest at all points in time. Now, of course, your clients are rich, but not all clients in the world are rich. India is still not a country with large amount of wealth. So many investors से पैसा कहाँ से आएगा? आप हमेशा ऐसे सेमिनार पे बोलते हो पैसा डालते जाओ, but पगार तो एक ही बार मिलता है. So of course, but if you are able to save more consistently every month, so in the pecking order, T has the highest value, then comes principal, and then comes return. And to earn superior returns, you have to do counter-cyclical investing. When things are bad, invest more. When things are superlatively good, invest less. Understand those cycles. So that's the way you should do your investing. Automatically, compounding will happen. But if you invest for 3 years, anyways, all bets are off because आप T
Mhm.
को honor ही नहीं कर रहे हो. And the second thing I'll say is that focus on your health because if you are healthy for very long periods of time, T will automatically be in your favor. And to focus on health, you need to give up the day-to-day stress and noise of information and overload and
Overload.
constantly reacting. Um, and either you have that wisdom to understand these cycles and markets and valuations on your own, or outsource it to good advisors, outsource it to people like you who help investor live through these periods because these are the periods when our temperament gives up. It does not support us. It does not stay loyal to us. Our temperament misbehaves. And this is the moment you need a good coach. So the formula of compounding is have a good coach, be healthy so that you have time on your side, and ignore noise so you don't react too often.
That's a wonderful formula, really. On that note, I'm launching a poll in terms of feedback before we start with the questions of all the attendees that they have posted. Requesting everyone to kindly please share your feedback with us. It will really help us understand how you like something like this. And, we will be coming to you with many more sessions with Kalpen too. I'm just starting with the questions, Kalpen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one coming from Vijay, is that if we acknowledge the cyclical nature of the markets, the way you said, in terms of 8 years, okay, where there would be a fall. So
Hmm.
what if we were to, you know, stay there and cash the profits every 8 years and then reinvest the principal? At least then you can spend and enjoy rather than crib about erosion.
Sure.
So
Yeah, so I think, see, it's a, at some point when markets get drunk, you have to get out of the market, but you should know what is the definition of that drunk. What are the numbers which indicate market is drunk? So, one variable to judge whether markets are drunk or not is valuation. So it's not that, sorry for, don't over, sorry for oversimplifying this 8 year term. ऐसा नहीं कि हर 8 साल में ऐसे होता है. But starting point होता है very high valuation. So the P of the market goes to very stretched numbers like 25, 30 or so. So if markets go to that valuation, that is the time to rebalance your portfolios to a certain extent. And you can reduce the risk of your portfolio. It's like, starting to apply brakes when you want to slow down your car. So one way is to take some profits out and de-risk it by moving it to debt or safer asset class. Or like I had done in 2021 or 22 after the COVID market had doubled. मैंने वो थोड़ा प्रॉफिट लेके घर खरीद दिया बिकॉज मुझे घर की जरूरत थी. और मेरे पास दो चॉइस था, एक लोन लेके घर लूं बिकॉज आई कुड हैव इजीली गॉट अ लोन, बट आई सेड मुझे वो लोन का टेंशन नहीं लेना है. कोविड के बाद लाइफ का गारंटी नहीं था एंड मार्केट्स हैड डबल्ड एंड वैल्यूएशंस हैड गॉन टू 25 26 times. I took some money out, bought a house. I didn't take a loan because I didn't want that peace of mind. I was just seeing from that day till today, markets are up only 8-9%. So जितना मेरा interest cost होता लोन का उतना ही market ने return दिया है. So at least I am now debt free. The other way to do profit booking is to be in hybrid funds or dynamic asset allocation funds or multi-asset allocation funds where they will book the profits for you. So when markets rise very sharply, so to give you a sense, most dynamic asset allocation funds 2 years back when markets were euphoric or slightly drunk, they had kept on cutting the equity exposure and they had brought their equity exposure down to 30%. In fact, ours was more conservative; it was down to 20%. So 80% of the portfolio had bonds. काफी प्रॉफिट बुकिंग कर दिया था. आज भी most of these funds are still at around 50% equity. So from that 20, we have added another 10, 10, and 10 when markets have been falling in the last 18 months or so. So there are two approaches. One, on your own, if you know how to do it, you could do it. But best is to talk to your advisor because they will guide you with these nuances. And sometimes, if you are in the right funds, which are able to navigate across Indian stocks, global stocks, gold, silver, or bond, which is the multi-asset category. See, the way I think about all these things is every time I have to get out, I have to pay tax. And every rupee of tax I pay, it loses 12% future compounding for the next 30, 40 years. So instead of getting out, I invest in the fund where the fund will get out and rebalance the asset class. And, I don't end up taking the burden of tax. Because when the fund rebalances, there is zero tax on it. So my money
perfect.
stays invested, I stay invested. I also achieve the objective of de-risking from a very high valuation asset class to a moderate or low valuation asset class. Like today, more than equity, gold and silver is expensive.
Mm.
So in our multi-asset fund in September, October last year, the total exposure of gold and silver was 23%. And we kept on selling, selling, selling. We sold, it went up more. We sold, it went up more. So we were wrong, wrong, wrong. And eventually we were right when gold and silver both fell
Correct.
20 to 40%. So the multi-asset fund from 23% gold went down to 10%. It can't go below 10 because of regulatory reasons, but it was able to get out 13%. And that
Yeah.
13% exit it had to pay zero tax on it. And I still
Mm.
remain invested. And now, if gold and silver were to fall more, it will rebalance and buy again. So there are multiple ways. So I'm not saying what is right or wrong. There are times this way will be right. There are times you getting out may be right. It all depends on some bit of luck also. But personally, my bias is to do it through a fund itself, a fund which can self navigate, auto navigate, so that you don't have to lose on taxation.
Fabulous. It really made a lot of sense in terms of, the way to structure the portfolio so that it automatically takes care of the taxation bit. And of course, we always see to it that every single investment is towards a particular goal. There's a timeline very clearly set, and that time जो निकलना है तभी तो निकलना ही है. Tax
Hmm.
भर के निकल जाओ because you have set aside money specifically for that reason only.
Yeah.
Moving on, so I think you already answered a couple of questions of Mr. Pierre Shankar, but he's asking one thing which is, I think, more rhetorical: is the volatility in stocks due to global political changes intentional to benefit certain pockets? That was one. And the second one, with rupee falling down, how can we expect to get FDI investments in?
No, so in fact, rupee falling down could be one reason for the intelligent global investors to come in, because now they are finding the same asset, whether उनको एफडीआई में कोई बिजनेस
हाँ हाँ.
खरीदना है, कोई बिल्डिंग खरीदना है या स्टॉक्स खरीदना है, वो सेम एसेट उनको 12-13% सस्ता मिल रहा है.
Mm,
Somewhere these are also self-correcting mechanisms. So the asset class called India, which was slightly expensive 2 years back across all parts of India, whether it was real assets or stocks, to a certain extent, two things have happened. Price has remained sideways from a asset price point of view, and the currency has fallen 15-20%. Actually, for them, there is a larger, sale which
yeah,
is available to them. So at some stage, they will come back. So
they will come back.
FIIs में भी दो टाइप के होते हैं. एक होते हैं जो डर के नहीं डालेंगे या निकाल देंगे, और एक जो वाइज है, जिन्होंने 30 साल से इंडिया में इन्वेस्ट किया, 93 onwards they've been investing, they are actually looking to invest back, and they've started investing back. We manage money for some of these global large clients. This month they've added, so if they have 100 rupees with us, they've added around 10% in this month. One
Mm,
of them who has 100 rupees with us has told us that they want to add another 100 over the next 6 months, because
mm.
now it has been 2 years of negative returns for the market, and other markets have run up. So they will book some profits from other markets.
Will
So,
come here.
so some money will come. See, I'm not trying to say just to give you false comfort कि पैसा आ ही जाएगा. इतना easy नहीं है. There are
Mm,
struggles, there are challenges, but there always are at a price. There is always demand for Indian equity, and at some point, if we fall more, we are coming closer to that price, where the demand for Indian equity from FIIs will start coming back again. What was the other
cool.
question that you had asked?
No, that was more rhetorical. Was
Which was what? What was the rhetorical question?
is the volatility in stocks
Yeah.
due to global political changes intentional to benefit certain pockets?
इतना इंटेलिजेंस तो नहीं है मेरे पास, मतलब ऑनेस्टली देखो, वी कीप रीडिंग, आई डोंट नो हाउ टू वैलिडेट दैट यूएस में प्रेसिडेंट ट्रम्प दिन में 9 बार ट्रेड करते हैं, एंड देन
नहीं नहीं, हम लोग वो नहीं बोलेंगे अभी.
हाँ,
We don't know, right?
no, I
Yeah,
don't know. And even if it is there, no one is going to call me and tell me कि देखो मैं ये कर रहा हूँ. So some of
yeah,
these are conspiracy theories. Who knows? There's no way to
correct.
judge. So, and
Yeah.
honestly, even if it were to be so, the question I always ask myself, for whatever headlines I hear, or whatever opinions I read, or whatever opinions experts give me, or whatever opinions, let's say, influencers are talking, the question I ask always is, so what? मैं क्या करूँ इसका?
मैं क्या करूँ?
और इसमें से क्या actionable है और क्या actionable नहीं है. Now, some of them can have actionable input. Some of them have no actionable input. Some of them are entertainment value.
Yeah.
But the variable which has an actionable input is valuations, according to me. Whenever valuations get cheap, whatever is the net flow, you should increase your risk in the market. And whenever valuations become very expensive, you should reduce the risk from the market. Is the first learning I have for all points of time of my investing. The second variable which matters is my goal. मेरा गोल 1 साल में है या 6 महीने में है. मार्केट कितना भी अच्छा लगे, मुझे पैसा नहीं चाहिए 6 महीने में. I have to then design my portfolio accordingly, irrespective of whatever is the view on the market. So I think valuation and your goals are the only two things. Valuation, your goals, and your cash flows are the only things
Absolutely.
that you need to
Yeah.
keep it.
And we keep repeating, Ketan, we keep going back and telling people that, let us sit down, plan your goals in such a way that we have clarity कि आपको पैसा कब चाहिए. जब वो clarity आ जाता है, तो automatically, we have those small pockets kept aside for those various needs, 1 to 2 years, 2 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years, etc. Moving on to Mr. Chandrakant Prabhune, he's asking how largely does a burst.
So I just want to react to something very personal that, it
हाँ.
appears that the slogan mutual fund sahi hai is cheating people. So let me also clarify that 2 साल
बिल्कुल.
पहले जब Indian investors were getting carried away with small cap stocks and mid cap stocks and tips and all that, वहाँ पे 30 से 40% stocks down है. Individual portfolios of stocks are down 20 to 40%. Most mid cap fund, whether it is DSP or our competition, they are at all time high again. उनका return शायद नहीं आया होगा, but they are back to their high value. So That is why mutual funds sahi is not to cheat people. It is for people who want to do long-term investing, discipline investing. Number
बिल्कुल.
two, 2 years back, a lot of us in the industry launched gold and silver funds. We launched 2 years, 3 years back when the prior 5-year returns were very poor. Since that day till today, all my investors in silver fund have earned 300% return. 2.5 years back, we launched our multi-asset fund where 25% went to global stocks, 20% went to gold and silver, 20 went to bonds, and 40 went to Indian stocks. That portfolio is up 16 to 17%. हमने सब funds launch किए हैं. I don't think anyone has got cheated in this, and we don't have that. We can go wrong. There are times, and we've gone wrong. Like we buy certain companies thinking the stock will go up, but the company's profits decline, or profit is not as fast as we expect, and stock falls 20-30%. But at an aggregate portfolio level, generally the mutual fund vehicle tends to keep progressing, whereas individual stocks can have much sharper corrections, and it is reflecting. There are enough articles uh, which show that individual portfolios are down 20-30% because a lot of these stocks have very poor governance or no business model. But at least in mutual fund portfolios, there's a lot of responsible investing, guardrails of governance, and of course I'm a biased party because I'm the CEO of a mutual fund. But my last point आपको बोलूँगा, except sovereign gold bonds and some money which is lying in my savings bank account, 99.99% of my entire family's money is in mutual funds.
Kalpen, you took that very personally, but Mr. Shankar has been one of the longest mutual fund
Well, I don't
investors.
mean to I'm
So,
saying I take it
yeah,
personally.
but
I
I know, I
genuinely
totally
believe.
understand where you're
I
coming
genuinely
from, and
believe
all of
in some
us,
of these variables.
yeah, नहीं, respond करना बनता है. Moving on to the AI wala question. That's the last one, I think. How largely does a burst in a tech bubble, example AI bubble,
See,
affect
AI,
markets in
AI
general?
is very serious, and a lot of money that is getting deployed in AI. Honestly, something that I don't understand beyond a point because there are big shifts which are happening, big technology
Mm,
shifts which are happening. So AI is solving some very big problems. At the same time, a lot of illusions people have of AI in some pockets are not true as well. Uh,
mm,
there's a lot of capital which is going into that space. And generally, it has been seen that wherever a space gets crowded with a lot of capital and past returns are very high, generally in the next 10 years, it doesn't do that well. Maybe in the next year or two, the momentum can continue, but over a very long period of time, again, I'm using the word generally and not anything with certainty because, there are always probabilities in this. Uh,
mm,
and then, to be honest, in some of our funds, we had invested in semiconductor companies 5 years back. We made a lot of money in the next 3 years, but we started getting out of it. And even in the last 1 year, some of these semiconductor stocks have gone crazy. We are very
mm,
fortunate. Like two of our funds have this Korean stock, which is up 1,000% in the last 1 year.
mm.
When we bought it thinking ये 10-12 टका में मिल जाएगा.
हाँ,
इसने 1,000 टका दिया. तो ये काफी टाइम फ्लू होता है, तुक्का होता है. हमने होमवर्क किया था कि अच्छा कंपनी है, सस्ता वैल्यूएशन है, बट ये
हाँ,
1,000% से ग्रो करेगा ये हमें नहीं पता था.
किसी को नहीं पता.
मेमोरी चिप्स में इतना डिमांड बबल क्रिएट होगा और शॉर्टेज होगा ये हमें नहीं पता था. So this can last for some more time, but you should not put too much of money behind it. And there is a risk of this disappointing us. So it's better to run diversified portfolios at all points in time. And if you want to
Mm,
do any thematic investing, whether it is AI or it could be metals, a lot of people say energy is a space to be in. Thematic investing is best done when you buy a theme which is in a low cycle, not in a high cycle. जहाँ past returns are very poor because again, and it is connecting to one of the questions someone has spoken about cycles. And the truth is if everything is cyclical, you'd rather buy it in a low cycle than in a high cycle. So when
mm.
themes are in a low cycle, so today banks are in a low cycle. Some of the best banks of India, their 5-year returns are less than their fixed deposits. So banks are actually in a low cycle. So if paisa lagana hai, to banks could be one of them. Tech stocks are in a low cycle. They have corrected.
इनफैक्ट ये आईटी सेक्टर के बारे में आपको क्वेश्चन आया है. व्हाट इज
So
योर व्यू
IT
ऑन आईटी?
also is in a way, see, IT is in a low cycle, so cycle, but it has a lot of question marks today. That how many of them will be able to navigate this world where AI is solving a lot of work that IT companies are doing. Um, and there are very valid concerns, which is why there is uncertainty and stocks have fallen 40%. The profit growth rate of IT companies, which in the decade of 90s when they got listed in the market, it used to be 30, 40, 50%. Then they normalized to 10, 12%. Then they came down to 7, 8%. Then, we all know that typically tech companies will grow at 7, 8%. World GDP growth rate was another 3, 4%. Now the market is saying it 2% से grow करेंगे. So profit growth is 2-3% का होगा. That is the current assumption. Now that is an assumption which only time will tell. Personally, I like to bet against the crowd. So the whole crowd is saying IT stocks are, still expensive or have poor growth dimensions. But I feel that जब कुछ 40-50% down है, or these are all profit-making companies, you should buy them in a crisis. I would assign a higher probability that IT stocks could still do better, but anything which is very hot could underperform. So the question was how. Then there's a question, falling rupee. We answered it. Volatility in
वो
stocks.
सब आंसर हो गया. ये लास्ट वाला एक है आपका. What are your views? ये NRI का क्वेश्चन है. What are your views on INR depreciation from the perspective of an NRI investor?
Yeah.
Over the last 2 years, despite being invested in Indian equities, I haven't
Absolutely.
seen meaningful returns in USD terms.
No,
In
so I think
hindsight, had I
this is-
remained invested in USD assets, I would have made better returns.
This is I think one thing that you should keep in mind is that generally the rupee depreciates by 3% every year. So given है. So if you're earning in dollars, letting that money remain in dollars, you will make 3% on that dollar versus that money remaining in rupee. Now the second point to think is that the underlying asset class. See, Indian equities में पिछले 2 साल में NRI's का experience has been very similar to an FI's experience, because both are similar, right? Both are investing in India and in dollar terms. Their source of capital is dollars. So 2 साल पहले equities महंगे थे. वो गलत decision था to over invest. And on top of it, currency volatility जो आया वो predictable नहीं था to a certain extent, because no one knew war होगा, oil prices ऊपर जाएंगे, and there will be struggle on the currency. वो थोड़ा out of syllabus हो गया. But equity markets में पैसा लगाना 2 साल पहले अगर आप NRI हो तो शायद a broad-based global portfolio would have made relatively more sense, because the rest of the world was not giving as good returns as India. Now, what happens as human beings? See, I have many cousins who live in Dubai, or who live abroad, or many friends who are in US. वहां बैठ के वो लोग क्या देखते हैं, यूएस में पैसा नहीं बन रहा है, चाइना में पैसा नहीं बन रहा है, यूरोप मरा हुआ है, बट इंडिया का रिटर्न बहुत अच्छा है, चलो इंडिया में डाल देते हैं. सो पीपल बाय रिटर्न्स व्हिच हैव हैपेंड, एंड व्हेन यू बाय रिटर्न्स व्हिच हैव हैपेंड, they are not your returns, they are somebody else's returns. So your returns are going to start from today, and hence it is unfortunate that in the last 2 years rupee ने भी मार खाया and equity ने भी मार खाया. I think from where we are today, this is our hunch, that our markets will not disappoint 3 years out. From here to over 2 to 3 years, I think our markets will be reasonable, steady returns. I won't say superlative returns. जो भी दुनिया भर में होगा, more or less हमारा भी return उससे थोड़ा better हो सकता है. And the pressure on rupee will subside either on 2 counts. The RBI is thinking of certain measures. The government is thinking of certain measures to increase the inflow of dollars. There is a high chance that could happen over the next 2 months or so, if the Middle East war situation does not resolve. So the government is thinking of step 2, step 3, that if the war situation doesn't resolve, what can we do to shore up our dollar assets or to increase inflow? So they may give higher interest rates, or they may, give benefits, tax advantages to bring dollars inside, which will give some support to the dollar rupee. And so I think the time to worry about dollar depreciation is definitely never after a 15% fall. 3% is our natural fall. 3 का 15 जो है वो once in 10 year type event है. ये repeat नहीं होगा हर साल. But 3% हर साल होगा. As a dollar owner, you will mostly lose 3% annually. See, India in its history only 4 years has seen appreciation. 2003 to 7, I think. That was the only phase when there was meaningful appreciation of the rupee. And there were a lot of other factors. Those factors are not in play today. So depreciation होगा ही. But अगर आपको अब equity market भी सस्ता मिलना शुरू हो जाता है, if equities become cheap, then the returns of equity will be better off than the rupee depreciation. So again, as a global investor or a dollar holder, you should diversify across asset classes and not just be overweight only India, is how I would think about it. My sister lives in Hong Kong. My cousins live in UAE. I always tell them that you have the benefit of doing global investing more easily, more seamlessly. You should take advantage of that, but keeping the principle of good companies and good valuation in mind. So Some part of your portfolio will find good valuations in India. Some will find in China. Some will find in Europe. So create a portfolio of a global cricket team, not a domestic. आपको IPL का टीम बनाना है, not
हाँ,
just a single country team.
बिल्कुल।
SIF एक
uh,
सवाल है. Views on
SIF,
SIF. See, my view is there are enough products in the mutual fund bucket currently. Hybrid funds है, जैसे हमारे पास equity saving fund है, जिसमें फिलहाल 1/3 of the portfolio is in equity, but वो पूरे portfolio पे put options लिखे हुए हमने. So if markets crash, the put options will protect me from that crash. So in a way, we are doing what an SIF would be doing to a certain extent. It's too early to take a view on SIF. आई ऑलवेज टेल माई रिलेटिव, मुझे ना मेरे एक अंकल है, वो कोई भी नया NFO आता है, कोई भी नया कैटेगरी लॉन्च होता है, वो मुझे मैसेज करते हैं इसमें पैसा डाल दूं क्या. तो मैं उनको बोलता हूँ कि ये जो नया है ना, उसको पहले टेस्ट कीजिए आप. कोई प्रूफ नहीं है, पहले 1-2 साल देखिए आप. सी द ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड, सी हाउ दे आर मैनेजिंग रिस्क एंड रिवॉर्ड्स. इट्स एन इंटरेस्टिंग कैटेगरी, कीप एन आई ऑन इट, बट डोंट जंप इन जस्ट बिकॉज इट्स न्यू. इन इन्वेस्टिंग जितना बोरिंग है उतना अच्छा है, जितना इंटरेस्टिंग है उतना रिस्की हो सकता है. So do your homework. I'm not see we are, ourselves will be launching an SIF at some point. We are doing our homework. We are doing our testing. We are looking for talent to manage SIF. SIF has more flexibility than a mutual fund in terms of going short. But going short many times in India does not work because our markets are one way at times. Oh, going short may work in the 10th year. So first 7-8 years it may not work. So it's a bit early. See track record, wait for a year or two more. एक साल already हुआ है. There are some funds who have done it. A lot of credible funds have launched SIF. But I would say ask your advisor, ask your MFA team to evaluate them and let them decide which are good SIFs, which make sense, which don't make sense, and then take a call. So do not completely ignore it, but don't get carried away too early.
और Q&A बॉक्स में थोड़े क्वेश्चंस हैं.
Sure.
SIP like dal chawal, which is
Yeah.
regular and very important to generate alpha and diversification. Market cycle, which is usually 1 to 2 years plus. Portfolio building via diversification across different asset classes required. What is your point of view? I think you covered all of this in your various answers and various questions already.
Okay.
Mr. Vikas Namdar is talking about well-known economist Surjit Palla has raised concern about Indian economy. What is your take on Indian economy and how is it going to affect the mutual fund investments?
Normally you should raise concerns when the economy is doing very well. अभी सब न्यूज में आ गया, अब सबको पता है इकोनॉमी का हालत थोड़ा टाइट है, तो उसके बाद और इसमें उसके लिए आपको इकोनॉमिक्स बनने का जरूरत नहीं है ना, दिख रहा है वो तो. अभी कोई भी रिपोर्टर भी बता रहा है कि अपना ग्रोथ ऐसा है, अपना करेंसी पे हिट हो रहा है, अपना इन्फ्लेशन बढ़ रहा है, तो ये तो सब नोन है. एंड अगेन आई से दैट इकोनॉमीज आल्सो हैव साइकिल्स. So I
Yeah.
never get very. See, my view is that there's someone who's written a very beautiful quote that India disappoints the optimists as well as the pessimists. If you're too optimistic, also you'll get disappointed because we will not do something path breaking. We are not going to change the world. Be clear about that. At the same time, there are periods of pessimism कि सब बर्बाद हो जाएगा, कुछ नहीं होगा, डॉलर रुपया 100 के ऊपर चला जाएगा. वो 30 रुपए पे भी 100 का फियर था, 40 पे भी था और 95 पे भी है, तो वो होगा, 100 भी क्रॉस होगा किसी ना किसी दिन. बट वी हैव चेक्ड अलोंग 30 years में हमने 12-13% रिटर्न दे दिया है. तो अगर आपका एक्सपेक्टेशन 11-12% रिटर्न है, वी आर अ ग्रेट प्लेस.
Your home.
एक्सपेक्टेशन 15-20% है, देन ऑब्वियसली we have to find other alternatives. Right now, I don't see opportunities to make 15-20% return broadly anywhere in the market. उसके लिए bear market चाहिए. Last data point for that, 2008 में जनवरी में जब इंडिया बहुत तेजी में था, सबका डार्लिंग था, दुनिया भर का ब्रिक्स का हीरो था, जिसने उस दिन पैसा डाला था, उसका उस दिन से आज तक का रिटर्न 9% CAGR है, निफ्टी का 9, not even double digit. Jan 2008, when we were in great headlines. Exactly 9 months back, everything turned. Markets fell 50%. All headlines turned negative. Global financial crisis हुआ, India में crisis हुआ, slowdown हुआ, economy slumped, prices fell. Anyone who invested in October 2008, since that day till today, returns are 16% CAGR. 7 महीने के गैप में 9 और 16. सो बैड न्यूज में जितना इन्वेस्ट करेंगे अच्छा है, गुड न्यूज में जितना इन्वेस्ट करेंगे जनरली खराब रिटर्न बनता है. क्या हमारा न्यूज फ्लो बहुत बैड है लाइक 2008? द आंसर इज नो. वी आर इन द मिडल. Can we get bad? I don't think so. At this stage, there are no such signals that because in many factors we are decent. Our inflation is still more well behaved than most of the world. Our deficits are still under control. Countries like Japan and US are more indebted. They have more debt compared to the income the country makes. But US के लिए चल जाता है because they print as much dollars as they want. But India has been far more well behaved. Our deficits are reasonable. Our inflation is, reasonably under control, barring for the last 3-4 months because of this oil. So if the war situation continues, we will be in more trouble. Then we'll have to revisit everything that I'm talking. But I don't have a view. उसके बारे में I don't know. Someone has asked कि war पे क्या view
हाँ
है.
उन्होंने पूछा है वॉर का भी।
But see, again, like I said, now that before the war, I didn't know that war होने वाला है. So after the
हाँ
war,
हाँ
how will I know when will it stop? It's very tough
बिल्कुल।
to take these calls. Most likely, see these things solve. Ukraine-Russia war has been going on for 4 years. Also, what has happened is most politicians of the world have become investors themselves. So it is in
करेक्ट।
their interest also that the economy chugs along.
ये बिल्कुल।
So, so I'm not trying to trivialize this reality. These are genuinely, tougher moments
ट्रू।
for all of us. Businesses are struggling, margins are struggling, salary growths are not there, wage losses, wage drops are happening. In many pockets, job losses are happening. So this is a tough phase. Uh, the only way to navigate tough phases is to do right asset allocation in easy phases. When everything looks glorious, is when you have to act. To act after things turn bad generally is not advisable. तो अच्छे टाइम में वरी करना चाहिए. खराब टाइम में वरी करके कुछ ऐसे भी कुछ नहीं कर पाओगे.
गुड वन। Last thing is about ESG, your take on ESG investing and how should we prioritize it in our portfolio? Durvapan.
Nothing. ये सब ऑप्टिक्स है. ESG कोई ESG पे ध्यान नहीं देता है. आप अपना सिंपल फ्लेक्सी कैप फंड पकड़ के रखो. Don't worry about ESG and all that. Governance is very important. Your
हाँ
money should not go to a company where governance is a question mark. So all of us in the fund industry, we take reasonable care to ensure that money is not allocated to, poor managements or poor companies where governance is a risk. That's a very important dimension. Someone has asked, what is the best fund for investment for seniors, 75 years, 12 to 18? Again, I think the MFA team is more qualified to guide you. But personally, if you ask me, either it will be an arbitrage fund or maybe even a fixed deposit could be better, because if FD, there are senior citizen rates. If you're getting good rates in current times and you're not in the high tax bracket,
not in the high tax bracket, that makes
that
sense.
could be a better option. Or
Yeah.
a debt fund could be a better option, depending on your taxation and time horizon.
Yeah, we will definitely guide them on that. So, Kalpin, this was brilliant. And I loved certain statements, and I think all of the attendees, it would resonate with them, all that you said, and they will remember certain things about, how the train is getting in onto the station and is halted out there, and people are getting in and getting out at the same time, and how you need to look out for those phases. You repeatedly shared with so many examples about how everyone is in a different phase in life and how they need to be focused on what they want to do in terms of the long term and stay put and keep the noise out, right? So that the train analogy was fantastic. uh, a lot of things about life also being cyclical and nature also. The way you explained that was really beautiful, very, very nice. And if everything else is cyclical, then obviously markets also will be cyclical, and we have to live through these times and not fret in fear. The other thing about collection of units, that was really fabulous. That's the third one that I'm taking home, that it's really, really, really nice that when we know these concepts, that's when we keep adding even more. You have money, you put it in, and these are times that will really see the light of day in the future. You will be really happy that you made your investments through these times. And yes, India disappoints, says the optimist and the pessimist. That was also really fab. So thank you so much for taking our time. We've done a good 1.5 hours, and you've answered all the questions also that people ask. Thanks a ton. Everybody's saying thank you to you, and our entire team is really very happy that you could uh, say everything so beautifully simply with all of your examples. Especially you opened up your personal life to us. Thank you so much. Really, really
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thanks a
Thank
ton.
you, and wish you all the best and happy compounding with Happiness Factory and MFA.
Thank you, Kalpit. Thanks a ton. Thank you, everyone. Thanks a ton for attending. Thank you for your feedback also. See you all soon. Bye bye.